Wow, making a video is really, really hard. My hats go off to those who've made videos before me and made it look so easy. But after about 4 hours of discarded video, I've decided that video is probably not my thing. However, it is my assignment to get this video out this month, so I'm determined I will do it. And I've decided to share some information that I think will help you in your teaching. I thought it'd be good to go over some form tips of the exercises teachers ask me about the most. Many of you know that I work as a singing specialist in the clinic with my husband Kurt Stock and Anna Siciliano. And probably when I evaluate and work with singers that have damaged voices, they're usually there for a reason. One of the first things I ask about is their breathing. And I only ask about it because I need to know if they were overblowing or how important they feel like breath is in the process. So I give them my 2-minute breathing lesson, which is really not a whole lot, except it kind of gives them the concept that breathing will happen naturally if you allow it to. It's not something that we have to really force or take lots of or push toward the vocal folds. If we relax, it kind of happens in a kind of a natural way. So first of all, you've got to be able to relax your abs. So if you're sitting here watching this video, I want you to just kind of relax your abs, just let them hang out. If they do not do that automatically, I know women in particular have a hard time because we like to hold our stomachs in, and so even when we think we're being loose, we're not really, we still have this little kind of tension there. So what I want you to do is I want you to tense your abs up as tight as you can. Now relax them. Now tense them. Now relax. Now your abs should feel relaxed. Now, the next step is I want you to do, you've got relaxed abs now I want you to blow all your air out. Hold it for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lied. Now, relax your abs and let the air come in. It should automatically just suck in. And I'd like all my clients, students, patients to feel that feeling of just the air coming in on its own without having to suck it in. And then I ask them to practice that when they're driving, during the week, just practice that over and over and getting used to that. When I'm giving a lesson, I will often ask them just to relax their abs. And if you relax, if you're doing an exercise, and tell your students to relax in between exercises, relax their abs, they'll draw some more air in even if they don't, even if they're not taking a breath in. So just something to incorporate so that when they're naturally singing or if they're on stage, they get used to just relaxing their abs to breathe. It just becomes a natural process, but I think it has to be built into the practice. So next exercise that is the most requested from teachers is Dr. Noah's Whoa-oo exercise. It's kind of become a little phenomena, and it does work. I've had great success with this exercise, as those of you who have done it and done it properly have already seen. It's a wonderful, simple exercise, but there are a couple of tips that you need to know about it to make it work really, really effectively. The first thing you need to be aware of is that the starting note of this exercise needs to start in chest voice. The ending note needs to be in head voice. Now, I usually like to use the fifth, especially with women. I usually like to do it on a fifth with myself, and if I'm working with a woman. If you're working with a man, that becomes a little bit more difficult because they have such a long chest register. So you might be moving to an octave more frequently with a man, or sooner with a man than you would with a woman. But just know that the bottom note needs to start in chest, the top note needs to be in head, and we don't worry about connection with this exercise. Actually, that little flip that occurs will be helpful to massage the cords a little bit. There's some pressure changes, and Dr. Noah does a great explanation. I'm not even going to try to explain exactly what he did because I know I'll get it wrong, but just know it works. And it's important that you do chest to head, chest to head. Don't worry about connection. This is what it sounds like, and I like to do a little glissando, just a slight glissando with it, so it's not so abrupt. This is not a staccato. This is a more of a legato kind of feel exercise. I'm gonna start on an E4. Whoa, 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 whoa. Boy, I got that wrong. Sorry, I went to a minor key there. Let's go back. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now here, this is a D. You might want to go to an octave here because you're kind of sitting right on the bridge. So depending on, I think it might be easier on the D. So let's just go, let me show you what the octave sounds like. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So that little flip we're not going to worry about. So that is the whoa, ooh. I think I gave the best form tips I could on that. So that's one that you would use for swollen cords. If you have someone that has a little bit of a cold, they could work on that exercise during the day, and then you would test it on a song or something to see if the swelling still is there. And then you could go back to the exercise. I think Dr. Noah said he's worked up to, I might be wrong on this, but I think he said 1 or 2 hours with some singers that have quite a bit of swelling before they go to perform. And because it's a gentle, it's not, there's not a lot of friction on the cord. It's one that we can kind of do safely. So it's a nice one to have in your toolbox if you happen to need it, and it's one for your singers to have. It's a nice one to do after a performance when your cords are going to be a little swollen, to pull that swelling out before the next day. If you can get the swelling out of your vocal folds before you go to bed, you're going to wake up with a fresher voice. So that cool down is important, and this is a really good one for a cool down. The next exercise I want to talk about a little bit is one that encourages legato, and it's one that I feel like too helps the singer isolate the jaw and get it out of the way a little bit. When we eat and when we swallow, when we chew and when we swallow, our tongue and our jaw often work in tandem. They work together. When we sing, we don't need our jaw, but it's so used to working with the tongue, so when the tongue moves, the jaw wants to move with it. So the first thing I have my singers do is to relax their jaw. And here again, just like with your abs, sometimes you have to clench. You have to get a student or someone who has a hard time relaxing their jaw to clench it, to activate the muscle first by clenching and then relaxing. So just kind of and then let it hang. Sometimes it helps to use the hands on the side of the face. I know this, Daniela's had me do this a couple of times when I've had lessons with her, and she's really big on this, and I've been working a lot on legato lately, so it's kind of been on my mind. But now that your jaw is relaxed, I want you to say ee-ah, 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 ee-ah. Now try to relax your tongue with the jaw. Now so that ee-ah, ee-ah, ee-ah. And now, once you can say it and do it without moving your jaw, then we're going to sing it. Now, there's 2 patterns you can use. There's what I've called the in and outs. This is kind of where you get the donkey feel. E-ah, 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 e-ah. idea. Now the next one is, may I mention that this is when it's nice to have a mirror handy so that the student can look and monitor what they're doing with their jaw, because it's something that we do so naturally that we're not even aware sometimes of our tongue and our jaw. So sometimes it helps to really look at it while we're practicing to make sure that we're keeping it all relaxed. I know that my tongue does not naturally relax perfectly, and so when you're watching this video, you might see that I have little tongue tension still, and it's something I continue to work on. Important fact, as a teachers, we're not perfect, and I know that I'm in a continual process of refining my voice, and probably will to the day I die, because I don't know that there is such thing as perfection in singing. Perhaps there is. I haven't attained it yet, so it's something I continue to work on, and I don't think it's a bad idea for our students to know that, so that they don't feel like this is a finished process. I feel like if you're performing, you are still learning, and you probably still need another set of ears to kind of keep you to tweak whatever you're doing. So hopefully our students will embrace this as a lifelong process of learning. Anyway, here's the E-ah in a different pattern. This is one that Dean uses quite a bit. Anyway, so you've got the idea on that one. So that just, can I just mention that relaxing your abs, keeping your jaw relaxed are two things that you can should be constantly reminding your students of during a lesson. Those are something that you can incorporate in every exercise, and that as a teacher you need to be aware of, because it's something that if they're not doing in a lesson, they're not going to be doing it when they're singing or performing. And it helps. The legato, the minimal changes, we know that bel canto, as defined by Dr. Noah, is the art of minimal changes. And if we do minimal changes in our voice, it's far easier on our vocal folds, it's much more pleasing to the ear, and it will just help our singing in general.
Woke up every day. Oh shit.
The final exercise I want to share with you is one that Mark Baxter used with me on my first lesson when I shared with him one of my issues was moving from chest to head and back to chest. I know that some of you and some of your singers have that same issue because it's been shared with me before. So on this exercise, here are some of the tips. One is to move slowly. There's going to be some vowel modification, and it's a very slow glissando. So you're moving from an E to an U back to E. So E encourages that a little bit more chord closure. U is going to encourage a little bit of a disconnect, so it kind of makes your body work a little harder to get back down to that E, from the U to the E. It also is a great exercise for refining connection. It's nice when some of our exercises accomplish more than one thing. Here again, art of minimal changes. So I like to have my students actually say the E, have them go back and forth on that E to the U to kind of get used to what that's going to feel like. And they might want to do this again just to kind of encourage that relaxed jaw just a little bit. I like to start on an E4 and important thing to this exercise, bottom notes and chest again, top note in head. So once again, the fifth will work for a while, but you might have to move to an octave to accomplish chest to head, back to chest. So a woman can do a fifth for a while. Men are going to move into the octave a little bit sooner, like the whoa-oo exercise. This is what it sounds like on an octave. It's late. We'll see if Terry can do it. Here we go. Whoa. Sorry, wrong exercise. E to oo. E. Little glitch on the way down. Let's try it one more time. E. No. E. It's not going to happen tonight, I don't think. So, obviously still one of my issues. So I got that little catch at the end, but you get the idea of the exercise. So work on it and see if you can get it smooth. I was doing it smooth earlier, and I actually have a couple of takes where it was smooth, but it's now about 12 o'clock at night, and so my voice is not real happy after doing about 5 hours of this today. So we're going to call this good for tonight. We're going to call this good for the video. I hope you enjoy it. You're probably going to get two very quickly because this one's a little late. It should have been done in the middle. I would have liked to have it done at the beginning of the month, but it wasn't. So I've got it done now. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I hope it helps you with your teaching. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Thanks. Good night or good day or whatever it is in your part of the world.